Welcome back to more Surviving Mars. My name is Tobal. Our passenger rocket is almost here, and the existing rocket is almost ready to get out of the way. So hopefully there shouldn't be too much delay between the passengers getting here and our rocket clearing the pad. Also, I was mentioned a couple folks gave some really great tips. So one of the things was that I need to probably move all of the fuel off of my universal storage depots, because a fuel explosion can actually wipe out the entire pad. So what we'll do is, I think we've got all of these are dedicated fuel depots. So I'll go through here and change all the settings to remove the fuel from those, and our drones are going to hate me just a wee bit, because that's a lot of work for them to do. Also, I always forget to do this, and someone mentioned this in Discord, but I do have a Patreon. If you'd like to support the channel, that information is in the Discord link, or sorry, the link below in the more info of the video, but it's mostly just patreon.com/TobalPlays if you'd like to help me out with bills or buy me a drink. I would appreciate it, and one more step along the way to my monster addiction. Right, so we've got food inside the diner, already ready to go in the new, what style building is this? I can't even remember which one it is. The alternative style, the barrel? Is it the style of dome we're talking about? Barrel dome, there we go. So, our new barrel dome is pretty much ready to go. We're missing a grocer, or sorry, the nursery. Oh, we don't even need a nursery right yet. I think we do have some children, though, if I'm not mistaken. Like, we had a little Martian baby somewhere, a little tiny Martian child. Where are you? Can I see, can I see said tiny little Martian baby? They might not even show up. There's the child in the list. Oh, God. Okay, there goes our rocket. I was like, what is exploding in here? I'm going to extend how many research areas we have, or, sorry, the tiles to scan, the sectors to scan. Another vista up this way. Did I remember this vista? I can't remember if I've seen it before or not. And I'm trying to see if there are any other items that our transport RV might want to pick up. There's, like, some metals and, you know, kind of polymers here and there. And I'll probably grab those over time, but we are ready to receive. That was actually really good timing, to be honest. We're ready to receive our new colonists here. Come on down, my friends. Welcome to your new home. Hang on, hello. Is it not counting it as... Objects underneath. Maybe the rocket that left is still counting as being in the way? There it goes. I'm not sure what happened there, but it got a little bit confused. So, our new passengers are arriving. We're going to get them all settled. And are we missing anything right now? We're down on power. I think we might be okay in the mornings, but we are still trying to build this up. Do we have materials? We still have materials. We still got some monies in the bank. So we're doing pretty good there. Somebody mentioned that I want to try to get my outdoor farm out as soon as possible, because it's going to help with all the other settings. So we're going to try to get that as soon as I can. I don't think we even have it right now, though. We don't have any kind of outdoor farm or anything like that. Let me take a look under life support. All we have is the indoor farm and the fungal farm and hydro farm. And under terraforming, I don't see anything like anything else. So I'm guessing that's not going to work out. Do we need the forestation plant down? I don't think that would be of use to us just at the moment. Right, so our new passengers have arrived. Welcome, my friends. Happy that you're here. Please don't leave. Please don't go anywhere. Didn't our really super genius scientist dude... No, it wasn't a scientist. He was the super genius bartender, basically. And he wound up leaving us and abandoning us for going back to Earth. But I think he's just running around Mars, because we haven't set that second shuttle home. Right, so we've got a person who is, I think, a saint, right? Yep, we've got one saint on board on the colony, so that's going to help out with anyone who is of faith, I believe. So we do have... Let me look at a couple things. We've got our spacebar set, and we've got our diner set. I think, at this point, I'm going to go ahead and start demolishing the older buildings so that we can kind of get this stuff squared away. And our passage is done, right? It is. So they're going to be able to move between the different buildings. So, without further ado, it's time to remove the spacebar, the small grocer, I think. Do we have a grocer in here as well? Okay, it's being built, so it just needs a little bit more concrete, which we have just a bit of. I don't know, maybe it's me, but it almost seems like the concrete extractor is getting a lot more concrete than it ever did before. And I can't even tell. We're nowhere near apparently being done. Okay, there we go. Our first concrete resource is almost out. We've only got about 400 more concrete, but still, these guys have been producing like champs. So we have a great supply of concrete around here. I'm going to go ahead and trash the art store as well, and the larger diner. So that's going to take care of those items. I'm trying to avoid, like I mentioned, building anything that requires polymers at the moment. Mostly that way I don't have to worry about shipping more goods out really, really fast. I'm trying to save as much money as I can. Otherwise, research lab, infirmary there. We have the space bar and the diner here. I think we're in pretty good shape. I might try to move everyone to live over here, actually, as well. How many do we have? We have 24 people. And each of these homes can house 14. So in theory, I should be able to basically shut this down. Sorry, guys. I know I just made you homeless there for a little second. They're going to get kicked out. And they should wind up coming over here to their new homes after a bit. And yeah, I think we're going to be golden. So, do we have people for jobs? Where do I need to undo some... There we go. We have something shut down. So let's open up a couple shifts here. The first shift for both the electronics factory, the machine part factory, and Yon Polymer factory. I'll unlock the rest of the positions here. And I also... Oh, we haven't finished building the rare metals extractor. So our drones are quite busy at the moment. Do they actually need another drone hub? We actually can't even build drone hubs. We don't have the science for it. We don't have the research in order to build them. We'd have to bring out a fab. That's fair enough. Yeah, some grumpy people because they don't have anywhere to live. I think that's why they're pissed off. But they're going to switch over to our new dome. I hope this one's online, right? It should be. Cool. We'll give it a little bit of time and see when they move over and check in on them after a little bit. It's a bit of a hot mess. People are still trying to trickle into the new dome. I think they're going to get there eventually. When they need to sleep, they'll wind up going across. So they're coming through in the tunnel or just kind of running out in the middle of Mars. That's fine, whatever they want to do. It's so gross when you wind up decommissioning an older building like that. But we at least have the... I think we've got the removal option. So they're going to be removing those completely down. So hopefully we won't have those nasty, rusted-looking buildings too much longer. We got 2 shifts now in the research lab. I'm going to be turning off the hydroponic farm for a bit and running on just the new farm. And I believe, didn't we get new botanists or did we still have only 3 botanists? I can't quite recall offhand. Still 1 doctor, I believe, and we've got some more folks in. There we go. Machine part factory is working. Our geologists should be moving over to the rare metals, which they are now. And everyone else, I think, is pretty well set. I did change it to do the evening and basically the afternoon and evening shift for our service buildings. That way, anyone who's working in the first shift can still get all of their needs met in the second and third shift if they need to. The only challenge is the doctor, I think. I mean, I don't think he's too worried about that overall. Not working in your home dome. Interesting. So everyone gets a little bit grouchy when they don't work in their home dome. Fascinating. Maybe I shouldn't have moved over those residential things too early. That's fine. I'm learning a little bit more about this stuff as we go anyways, so I didn't realize that people prefer to work in their own dome. I thought there was a benefit to making like residential focused domes. And I don't know, maybe that was just the way that I was doing it. That might not be the best way. So perhaps we'll come back and add more residential here down the road so that we can mix up where people are working at. Hey, we got another... Holy crap, this sector is got a ton of stuff on it. We've got a vista, a spot that's going to increase the research if we put a dome here. Actually, 2 different research spots. So that could be pretty cool. Some of the domes can be pretty big, too, and we might be able to fit 1 dome into both of those spots. Let's see, this is a basic dome. So in theory, even a larger dome is going to have a larger area of influence around it. So boost research production when in radius of a dome or outside research facility. So if we put a dome here in the middle of this area, we might get quite a bit of a research boost. It's almost worth just setting up a dome out there. I don't really know how to dedicate people to doing, like, when you go far away, when you put another dome far away, do they take something like the transport? For example, there is this here, which is a trade pad. I think I have spotted a transport research where I think it's going to have them moving from point A to point B. But I'm not entirely sure and familiar with that system, so we'll experiment a bit. Maybe we'll move out there down the road anyways. I do plan on having most of my domes in this big open area eventually. I'd like to relocate some of those into one kind of continual area. But we'll send our research drone over here, so the RC Explorer, to come find some goodies. And I want to give my RC Transport... Let's give him a mission to move all of the metal from here over to storage. Cool, very cool. All right, doing pretty well. I think people are starting to get settled a little bit more. Where are we at? 24 out of 64. So everyone has moved in now, I think, to the new dome. So huge plus. They're so stubborn. They just didn't want to move in. So I could, in theory, get an entire second rocket and another rocket, 2 more rockets in here with passengers. Let's see. 1400. So 2 completely empty living complexes. So we could definitely fit some more colonists in here, and I might keep doing that shuffle. However, I would love to get a couple more of the rare metals before we do. I'd like to start sending stuff home to Earth so we can make a bit of money. So at least we have a first shift in of our geologists here, almost a geometrists. The geologists are going to be extracting the rare metals. Now, they are getting used a little bit, or they would get used if we had the electronics factory going, but we don't. So I guess they're just going to be going right into storage and thus right into our ship down the road. This dome does look pretty sad now. I feel bad. Maybe we should have at least one living quarters here so people who are in this area can work. I might do that just because it seems like it's going to help their morale a little bit. So what do we need? We need a couple more of the kind of the general service folks, the no specialization. We could use a couple folks in the factories and then a couple more folks in the rare metals extractor. So really, it looks like it's going to be botanists. We could do one more shift of scientists as well, so we can have research around the clock. So one more shift of scientists, and then a mix of botanists, and then engineers and geologists, pretty much, it sounds like. Nothing else. Maybe we'll do another batch later on of the service industry. I'd rather have the specialists first. Now, we might run out of specialists, by the way, and that's when we would want to build the Martian Academy down here, wherever that might be. I can't remember if it's under services, right? Martian University, which is going to let people start learning how to do different jobs. I think you can cross-train, or they'll just take whoever's non-specialized and turn them into the most needed specialization. So one of our rockets is heading back to Earth. The other rocket is actually just about to be finished refueling, so we'll be having 2 rockets head back home, and hopefully by the time the first rocket gets back to Earth and then comes out with more passengers, we'll have quite a few more rare metals ready to go. Awesome. I'm excited about that. I want to get more research done, though. I want more items coming to us from the research tree. So we're getting 300, we're almost 400 from research buildings, 100 from the RC Explorer. I might send out another RC Explorer to kind of get that bonus from them, but I think doing the terraforming tree is really going to help. We're at 5 researches right now. Let me queue up all 3. So the next 3 items will take us to 8 on the terraforming tree, which will complete one of our main mission goals. So extra research is not bad. Otherwise, I don't think there's much else we can do right now. What about the overall terraforming stuff here in terms of the forestation? We can't do forestation, right, until we need soil quality and temperature, and it consumes seeds, which we don't have yet. I'm pretty sure forestation seems to come last, but I'm not entirely 100% positive, so I don't want to give wrong information. We have a ton of fuel, by the way, so we might be able to go ahead and continue on with this GHG factory. Ooh, except it uses 10 of our machine parts. But you know what? We're raising the temperature, darn it. That's what we need to do. We also have some missions about ice and water, right? Capture meteors. This is a 60 fuel mission. In theory, we could have just done that a minute ago. So maybe that was going to be a good idea. We got a pretty large boost when we finished one of these projects, by the way. The one that had the 4 drones on it. Paradox has 32 buildings. USA has 91 buildings. We have a modest 70. And the Colony of Europe has 93. So I feel like we're kind of on par. If I remember right, we pretty much have almost gotten, if not all of them. Yep, we've gotten all of the milestones so far. So we're rocking it right now. Scan all sectors. 100 colonists will probably be the next big one that we hit. Construct a megadome, a wonder. 40% workers and workshops. Dig a lake, plant a tree. Okay, some different stuff that we can't quite do. Research lake crafting. Cool. That's so neat. I love that you have these options right now. All right. Let's see what kind of people we can bring into Mars from Earth. So our next... Oh, rocket's unavailable. Are you both not landed yet? I'm confused. Is this only one of our 2? Oh, there it goes. I didn't even notice that it hadn't left Mars yet. So both rockets are coming home. I'll wait for those to get there, and then we'll start to turn them around for our next batch of prisoners. I mean, colonists. We just got an offer from the USA to trade 50 concrete for 77 food. I think that's going to be a great idea The only downside right now is that we don't have any rockets to spare. So as soon as we can, we will be sending this new rocket back home. Europe will scan a planetary anomaly in 3 days and 7 hours. Is this one of these milestones? Scan a planetary anomaly. I can't even tell. Is it... I don't see anything as a... oh, maybe it's just telling me that they're going to complete a project. That's fine. That's not the worst thing in the world, I think. They do get new technologies out of that. Maybe I need to keep an eye out for some mission kind of like that. Resources right now. Resources. Breakthrough might not be bad. This is 7 drones, so it would be quite a few drones. I have placed down a new drone hub because actually right after I complained about it, we wound up getting the drone hub technology ready to go. So we have that now. So I'm getting more drones. Do we have the ability to make more drones? I don't think we do offhand. I think we just have to. We don't have any assemblers, right? So we're kind of waiting. Where's this drone hub at? You're pretty far to the north. Why don't we rearrange some of the drones? Now, the drone load problem that we tend to see, isn't that just mean that there's too much for the drones to do? Not necessarily that one of the drone hubs is overloaded. It's just that there's too much going on, because the drone hubs can only carry or can only control so many drones at once. Right, so I think that's what the main problem was. By the way, the farm, I didn't really go into detail about this. This does have soil quality. So what I'm trying to do is plant soybeans for the first, I don't know, 4 or 5 harvests. And then that should push the soil quality to 100, which should boost the overall maximum output of your crop. So we're trying to get to the soil quality to 100. And then what I'll do is probably run with wheat, because that gives you quite a bit of harvest. Let's see, wheat is average. Low yield, but grows fast and requires less water. Potatoes is what I'll probably put out. And it's going to take the quality level down a notch. And what I'll do is I'll do potatoes, soybeans, and probably a round of wheat, right? And then that should have a pretty standard set of crops. Hopefully, especially once we get our new botanist, by the way, which we can do because we have our passenger rocket finally back in. So I'm going to clear all this stuff out for a second. I'm going to go into my traits and see if we have any geniuses in our pool right now. No geniuses available. So we're going to have to just take whatever we find. Let's go ahead and grab... I don't think we need another medic. We should not need yet an officer, so to speak. The security officers. Let's see if we can't grab 3 botanists and 3 scientists. Right off the bat. Cool. And now from here, I'll go ahead and do engineers and geologists. So at least a couple more geologists. Let's do... I like to have them in batches so I know how many I have. So an engineer there. 3 is the number of thy counting. The number of thy counting shall be 3. Holy crap. I forgot that we can fit so many more people in our rocket now. That's awesome. Well, shoot. Let's just grab whoever has a specialty at this point. Maybe one more medic if we got the room. Engineer. I think botanist. Let's grab one more in case I don't remember what the upper limit is on the farm. I think it might be more than 6, but I'm not entirely sure. So we'll grab a couple. You know what? I'll tell you what. Instead of him, let's grab some of these no specializations. Vegan... gamer's fine. We don't really want melancholic, right? Increased performance penalty when at low morale. Yeah, I don't really want that per se. Generally popular or one-off traits are going to be a little bit better. I don't mind having some religious folks in the dome, especially since we have the saint in there. Yeah, let's get those bonuses from our saint friend. Vegan nerd. Trying to avoid things like hypochondriac, things like that. So, we're over our limits. Let's go ahead and remove 1. Yeah, there we go. There is our next round on the Spirit of Man 2. Super exciting. We should have plenty of residences. Yeah, we have 33 residences available now, so we'll launch the Spirit of Man 2. It's on the way back to Mars. Hopefully, we should be able to really go crazy with the amount of rare metals coming out once we get more engineers or more geologists in here. By the way, didn't I just open up? Good night. Why are we so short on power? I just created 2 new large wind turbines. You know what I never did? Nope, I did. I thought I didn't reopen my Stirling generator, but apparently I did. Why are we so short on energy? Can I just look at my handy dandy graph here? So production, I mean, what about overall? There we go, gross art graph. I want to see how this has gone up over time. So let's look at power. Okay, so I think this is where I added those two new, the two new wind generators. But it looks like we're actually using a little bit more power. Maybe we open up another shift somewhere, and I didn't quite catch it. Oh, you know what? My fault. We started up this brand new GHG factory. Yeah, sure enough, that's going to use up quite a bit of energy. So I guess I will put down a few more solar panels. I do like this long run of solar energy here. A couple more of those down for the day. I'd love to put down some more geothermal, or not geothermal, but the Stirling generators if we had them. That should do it. I think it's 10 per. Oh, it's only 5 per, so that's 15 more. So we're going to still be a little bit short. Let's drop one more down. It's a little tight, but I think with the amount of storage we already have, we should be okay. Research completed. That was... Which one was that? I didn't even notice it. Over here, I think. Extractor amplification. That unlocked autonomous sensors. They no longer require power or maintenance, which is kind of nice. We're doing water reclamation, which is one of the spires you can put into your dome under biotech. So hopefully we'll see some new biotech technologies come out here pretty soon as well. Awesome. Welcome to the new people who are just going to be landing. Let's open up some shifts. At this point, I think we're going to have both morning and afternoon shifts running in most of our buildings. Maybe not Polymer Factory. We might just do one shift in the Polymer Factory. Probably 2 shifts here at the Rare Metals. Maybe... Okay, so you don't actually have any shifts for the farm. It's just a matter of filling it up. So we're going to have an extra botanist, I think, which we can probably put over at the hydroponic farm. We're not exactly low, but I'd like to get a bit more food sooner. So these tend to take quite a long time, right? They're going to take 5 souls to complete their harvest. They do give you a lot of food, but I want to make sure that we don't have any problems in the interim. We're also mega low on machine parts, so I could send out another supply pod, and I might wind up doing that. We don't have a ton of rare metals to be exported yet, so maybe down the road we might do that. By the way, the speaking of rare metals, the survey that we had done over here wound up finding a very high-grade rare metal depot. So really, this spot is looking like a real winner for any kind of a dome. I wonder if we can fit a barrel dome in here. We could fit a barrel dome inside of here. I'm pretty sure that counts as being inside of the research site spot. So that'd be a great dome for some people to do some rare extraction as well as research. But again, the distances involved, I'm not entirely sure. What about tunnel? What does that do for you? Entrance and exit can connect power and life support. Rovers can travel along the tunnels to reach places they otherwise couldn't. Okay, so I don't think it lets people necessarily transfer. I'm not entirely sure. Also, I did go ahead and put some new buildings back in, the living complex back in, because it seemed like some people were a bit grumpy not to be living in the same dome that they were working in. So, we'll make sure they have that option if they so choose. What does the little money symbol mean? Unemployed, I believe. Wow, we have that many people. Let's open up a third shift for research. Very cool. We've got a full shift of botanists. Let's go ahead and open up the hydroponic farm again. Boom, just like that. Aren't you a medical person? No, you're a no specialization person. That means we can probably open up the full work shifts now. Both 1 and 2. Now we can pretty much do all of the entertainment stuff during the day, because people will be getting off shift on their first or second shift. So we should be able to take care of everyone at some point during the day and have their needs get met. So grocer, diner, small space bar. We could also probably open up the... What did I have? I think I had something else for that. Like we had an art store at some point. We could probably reopen that too, or install it and reopen it. Awesome. I love having so many people working. What about this shift? This is filled up. The second shift of machine parts and the first shift of polymers is all done. Very cool. Super excited. Now, some people are in the wrong professions. That's because when they first tried, they weren't able to do their normal job. So now that, for example, I've opened up a new shift in the infirmary, eventually this person should, Claire Bertrand, should wind up coming back over to the infirmary at some point. Right. I'm pretty happy with that. We were able to get water reclamation, and that opened up. Utility crops, new crops and farms and hydroponic farms. that provide oxygen and improve soil quality. I think for this, I'm going to go ahead and go for low G fungi. And maybe... No, we're doing pretty well on water. I don't think I need to go down the route of hydroscopic vaporators just yet. But we'll do the fungi farms. We can keep opening up more biotech resources, or researches rather. Also, you're here, Spirit of Man 2. So, what kind of missions do we want to possibly look at? There is a mission to capture some meteors. It's only going to require 60 fuel, of which we have plenty. So I think I'm going to go ahead and send the Spirit of Man 2 to capture our first asteroid in order to try to start making some atmosphere out of the temperature and water. There's also a mission there to, I believe, capture some of the gases from Earth, right? As funny as that sounds. That should kickstart some of the atmosphere a little bit. Temperature and atmosphere, yeah. So you're going to do this mission for meteors. This one is another ice asteroid mission. May cause a Mars quake. This one also, I think... Oh, the meteor showers fall a random over location and may threaten the colony. Wonderful. That's fine. Wait, was this what I wanted to do? Uh-oh. Yield some valuable... This is not what I wanted to do. Cancel this one real quick. This was the wrong one. We don't want to do capture meteors. We want to capture ice asteroids. Right. Oh, it's a little bit more expensive. It's going to require machine parts. Yeah. I still want to try to do it. Let's go ahead and resupply. We need a lot more machine parts. God, we'd have to do an entire thing just machine parts. That's okay. Let's do it. We'll also grab some electronics. I do have a more full staff now, so we should start pumping out machine parts a lot faster. That shouldn't be too much of a problem. We also should have a... Oh no, crop failure. No edible food has been harvested. That might have been here because people stopped working. I did have this paused, so that would make sense as to why that failed. So as long as it wasn't our first soybean crop, I'll feel a little bit more comfortable. We still have pretty decent supply of food. Yeah, by the way, there was that trade mission that we had talked about too. Let's go to... I don't know how to do this. Do we need to go to the map and then click on them directly? This was the USA contact trade. Cool, they're still wanting to do concrete for food. Excellent. We will send 50 concrete and get ourselves 77 food back in return. That's a really good deal for us. We have tons and tons of concrete. Awesome. Okay, I think I'm pretty happy with where we are right now in this episode. Thank you all so much for joining me. I hope to see you again pretty soon. I'll put a little bit of time between this episode and the next one in order to advance the game a little bit more. I'm trying to get more and more people here. I think we're rolling. I think we're doing well. I would really love to unlock more of the dome technologies, though. I'm really surprised we haven't gotten there yet. So I guess they're just tucked further on in the tree. But we'll keep at it, my friends. Thank you so much for joining me. My name is Tobal, and until next time, take care.